Hello everybody, and today I'm going to talk about a film I watched last night, but like kind of a genre as a whole, and that's the Poliziotteschi. So Poliziotteschi are violent Italian cop films or crime films, and probably the earliest one, or certainly the starting point, was a film called Bandits in Milan in 1968. But then with films like Bullet, French Connection, Dirty Harry, Serpico, in America being big hits, Italians never want to shy away from jumping on a genre or a trope, made a slew of them. And I suppose it could be considered like taking over from the spaghetti western, as they were dying out in the early 70s. Italians replaced it with cop films or crime films and replaced horses with cars, as Enzo G. Castellari says in the extras for the film I'm going to talk about, and it's said by many other Poliziotteschi directors in different extras on different discs. It's a genre I've liked for say 17, 18 years easily, and I found out about it from my days on the Anchor Bay UK forum and talking to guys there. One of the guys runs a website called Lock and Load, which is a great resource for Poliziotteschi and Italian genre film in general. And that's where I got this t-shirt featuring one of the stars, Maurizio Merli. There was a big star in Poliziotteschi in the 70s. But anyway, the film I want to talk about is Enzo G. Castellari's High Crime. And this is from Studio Canal's recently launched label. I think it was Maytime. They're called Classics label, so they released this. Another Castellari film, spaghetti western, Kill Them All and Come Back Alone, which is more of like what Alex Cox would call a circus western. So it's not gritty and violent, it's more of like a Dirty Dozen set in westerns, with guys with special skills like acrobats, dynamitists, And they also released Walter Hill's take on The Wild Bunch, Extreme Prejudice, which is pretty good. I really like this film actually. I've done a big dive into Walter Hill's filmography about 3 months back and really enjoyed this. But yeah, so High Crime, and I've got notes and everything. So it stars Franco Nero, who was another staple of the Poliziotteschi genre. More so like in the film he made after this was more of a Death Wish riff, I should say, not a rip-off. Another Castellari film called Street Law, which is amazing. He plays Vice Commissioner Belli in this, and it stars Fernando Rey as well as a gangster who is better known, or probably most known, as Frog from French Connection. And the great American character actor James Whitmore plays the proper commissioner, Scavino. James Whitmore is probably best known for some of his World War II stuff, but probably more famously known for being in The Shawshank Redemption. And him and Nero dubbed their own voices in this. So that was a thing with Italian genre cinema. They didn't record live sound because often they were working with Spanish, German, Italian, French, other nationalities, so they didn't record live dialogue, so they could be dubbed in afterwards for different territories. But yeah, this starts off at a breakneck pace with a terrific car chase orchestrated by the great Remy Julien, who is probably better known for his Bond car chases and stuff. But yeah, the car chase sets it off at a breakneck speed, where he's chasing a drug lord. That's Franco Nero's Commissioner Belli, and that ends in an absolute smash that you're like, ugh. Italian Poliziotteschi didn't hold back on the stunts and the violence. They were full on. But then, it gets a bit convoluted in the middle. You're like, so they introduce characters, politicians, businessmen, and it all gets a bit convoluted and you kind of lose who's who and who's killing who and who's ordered kills on who. But I suppose it reflects the Italian political climate at the time in the 70s, you know, with the far left and the far right committing kidnappings, assassinations. So James Whitmore, as Commissioner Scavelli, he holds a file on his research, and Nero's just wanting Franco Nero, the great Franco Nero, is just wanting to go in all guns blazing and take the guys out. And he's saying, look, I've been working on this for years, I've got a file on all the myriad corruption and where it leads and who's at the top, but we need hard evidence. But then he's assassinated. There's scenes in this with Franco Nero's daughter from a previous marriage who comes to stay with him, so you kind of get that little bit of relationship. His new girlfriend, so that whole family or his personal life's established. And once he's getting a bit closer, once he becomes commissioner, the mafia attack his family. And that's where you think this is going to kick off. And it doesn't. Well, this version doesn't, because this version, released by Studio Canal in the UK, is the shortened version, and it's missing 5 minutes on the end. It's missing the climactic shootout at the end, which I was like shocked about. I was like, what? And I'd seen this maybe 15, 16 years ago on a really, really cheap VHS rip DVD that was available in, I want to say, Poundland. It was somewhere like that. I think the label was called 23rd Century. And it was a really poor quality rip off the VHS of it. But it was the only way I could see it at the time. Yeah, so 1973 is pretty early on in the Poliziotteschi genre. But Studio Canal have used the shortened version, which misses the entire climax off. It just ends on a shot of Nero by the docks, where I knew there'd been a shootout in the version I saw, and the credits roll. I was like, what are you doing? And apparently Studio Canal own the rights to the longer version that's out on Blu Ray in Germany, I want to say. Is it Film Art that released it? So I'm going to have to get it, because I can't leave that film with that ending. But yeah, so it's got a great soundtrack by the De Angelis brothers, who done loads of Italian genre films. Tarantino's even used them. As I said, directed by Enzo G. Castellari, who I think Nero made 7 films with. They were a good partnership. I say Street Law's excellent, and features a stunt that I still can't work out how they done, a car crash. I still can't work out how that was filmed. I've got an old, I want to say, Blue Underground Blu-ray there, DVD there, and I hope it gets a Blu-ray release over here, or even in America, because I would buy. I've got, I would say, 30 plus Poliziotteschi's on DVD, and I've only recently started collecting them again on Blu-ray. I've got Arrow box set, Castellari box set that was recently released this year. A couple from a great label called Fractured Visions. Got the 2 there released. But it's a genre I really love, because it's full on. And I like crime films anyway. But yeah, I mean, Italians always took it to 11. They never settled on 10. But apparently in the extras for this, and the extras are really good, because it's a new interview with Castellari, and he says apparently he wanted Mark Spitz for the lead role. He wanted somebody with a moustache and nice hair, and then ended up with Franco Nero, who admittedly has a moustache and nice hair, and he's an actor, where Mark Spitz was an Olympic swimmer. But Castellari's dad was the director. Let me get this right. He was called Marino Girolami, and he made what was supposed to be a sequel to High Crime, starring Maurizio Merli, who sadly died young. But he was like, at first he was considered a Franco Nero clone, but he made the tough cop character he's on in subsequent Poliziotteschi. I even have, and it's my only locandina, which is Italian for poster, by the way, the original locandina for high crime. So Italian locandinas are these, I think it's 13 inch by 28 inch, really slim posters. But yeah, it's one of my prized possessions, and I really must get it filmed, framed one day, because I've had this for like 15-16 years and it's still just rolled up. But yeah, I think that would look really good on the wall actually, and people wouldn't have a clue when they walked in what it was. But yeah, big down points for Studio Canal for releasing the version without the climax, because it was just ridiculous. But it's a genre I love, and I'll probably be talking about it more here and there. But yeah, I reckon you check them out, because the heart-eating good stuff and some really great direction in them. As I say, the car chase that opens High Crime is amazing, and should be on top 10 lists everywhere, where people usually list the usual suspects: Bullet, French Connection. Admittedly amazing, admittedly brilliant car chases, but High Crime should be on there because it's fantastic. Anyway, thanks for subscribing. If you've subscribed, thank you for your comments. Thank you for the encouragement, everybody. Yeah, I'll be back soon.